4:30.
4:30. I gave up at 4:15.
We went in at about 4:35.
Reasons the amusement park doesn't need to hang out with the Avengers.
This is the one Chris broke last night. I'll be back and find another mic.
I mean, there's like not even 10 people in here. I don't think we need a mic.
Not true. Very, very true. Let me get all the coordination out of the way.
Yay, shameless self-promotion.
That's all there is for this one.
Awesome.
It's just gonna
Can
be
we just have a
next
panel
hour.
called self-disabled? Say
Good
that
one.
thing.
We'll probably have a YouTube panel again next year for the regular going.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
probably YouTube again.
Do you want
Is it even time? Okay, it is.
Yes, it is.
Morning.
Are you all awake?
Why? Because the hotel kicks us
Yeah,
out.
the hotel. That's the one that works. Okay. So, welcome to the Making of My Immortal, the movie. The way this works is a Q&A panel. So, as many questions as you guys have, we can answer. Just come up to the mic. It can be specifically about the movie if you guys saw the movie. It could be about the book if you won. But one thing we really want to do is if you guys are interested in making any kind of short indie films or long featured films, ask us questions. We'll be able to answer them as best we can. Of course, since we're the amusement park, we've got our shameless self-promotion slides. We're very sweet people. We don't bite that hard. Feel free to add us. You can ask questions later as well. But
Or taunt us.
we'll open the mic, and if no one talks, we'll just babble for the next hour.
If no one talks, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Maybe sing a little bit.
Joining that.
Might sing a little lullaby.
I swear to God, if you sing a lullaby, I quit.
Really, Eric?
No!
Or if no one asks questions, I'll pick on the two cast members in the audience.
It's always entertaining.
I'm waiting for it. You messed something up.
I did?
Yes, you did.
What did I mess up?
I'm trying to wait for it to come back around.
You look so serious.
Okay, no, you didn't. I was about
We
to say,
missed
I
your
thought
Tumblr.
Twitter is, yeah,
No, we missed your
is that
Twitter.
Twitter?
I'm sorry, we missed Twitter.
No, Twitter's up there.
Okay, I was about to say.
Okay, then we missed Tumblr.
Don't worry.
Yeah, you're...
No one wants to go on her Tumblr anyway.
Okay,
It's the
Tumblr
same
is
as
for feminist
YouTube.
porn.
Internet is for porn.
Internet is for porn.
It's a
Grab
60
your dick and double click.
The name is Eric.
This is an 18 plus. I was supposed to say that word.
What, dick?
Yeah, I
You
know.
don't really say dick. It's
So,
60 plus.
Is this it?
Yes.
let's pick on the audience. So, Jesse Slaughter, since you were having
Please
some
come front and
trouble
center.
with your wallet last night, I think you missed some of your Q&A questions.
Approach without
Yeah.
the microphone and speak into it.
We're advertising
Front
for you, and you're down
and
there.
center.
You better get up here and talk, woman.
What room?
Front and center.
There's no questions to be asked.
For your
Where the
loud
microphone
crowd.
There's
is.
no questions to be asked.
I'm gonna ask you how it was as an actor, things that were hard, and how it was having to get your role like 5 minutes before we shot.
Trying to be serious when the movie's not a very serious movie.
Is there a way to be serious in this crap?
No.
Alcohol. You missed the movie because you had alcohol.
Yeah, our Dumply Gum is currently in the front row. I think he might still be drunk. He missed the premiere last night because he was drinking.
Drinking gets rid of hangovers.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It's called the hair of the dog.
That's a thing. Yeah, no. Drink.
You can't be hungover if you stay drunk.
Rob's
Good eye.
Rob Hawks.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it's time to babble.
I can actually babble. I babble very well.
All of us on stage can babble pretty good, so just shout us up at any point, I guess.
I babble very well.
It has
No.
to be on topic, though. It has to be about making movies.
It is about movies.
Go for it.
Okay, movies you've made.
Go ahead, Angie.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I got a question.
Sure.
How much did it cost you to make the whole movie?
500.
500 and whatever we spent at Taco Bell.
But a lot of that budget, though,
Was spent on your
well, it was spent on things that we'll get to use for future movies. For anyone who didn't hear last night, most of us do have some kind of training in making movies, and we are making a serious movie that'll premiere for EagleCon next year, or a zombie film.
I mean, I had a class in high school.
But a lot of stuff since we all learned in school settings for college and high school, we had access to all of this free equipment. And I already had a camera, but that was about it. So we had to buy a boom mic, a boom pole. We had to buy all of this equipment. We had to find arrangements. We had to find costumes. So a lot of the budget for this movie was buying things that we'll be able to use down the road. Even just camera batteries. I had one battery. Most shooting days, since we would have 8-9 hour shooting days just for 5 weekends straight, I bought 3 camera batteries and an extra charger. So that way I could easily just pop a battery out and put it back in. So that's where a lot of that 500 came into play. And it wasn't all at once. But Amazon is our friend because it would have been like $2,000.
I was saying, it mainly all went to Amazon and Taco Bell.
So did you have like a costuming budget, or did you just use your own clothes?
Yes and no. Most of us, I think why most of the cast ended up choosing to do it, not to the extent of Tara Gillespie or Ebony, the character she wrote, we all were those grungy, goth, emo, Hot Topic kids in high school. We all still had a lot of the stuff in our wardrobe. Now, if it fit or not was the issue, but we did have a lot of the costumes we wore. Most of us didn't buy new clothes. We had to buy some wigs, some cloaks, but for the most part, our wardrobe came right out of our closet.
I wish I could have found my own drip pants.
I'll say, if you look in the movie, the only 2 scenes I'm in, I'm still wearing like this huge leather jacket. The shirts that I was gonna wear, they didn't fit, and I was like, well, this will work.
Sir, you were wearing a Marine jacket. I don't think the Marines have
Yeah, I was
anything
like
to do with
110 pounds in high school, so most of my really nice goth outfits did not work. But I still have like some rave stuff I could layer on, and that made
Remember, it's not a rave, it's a dance party.
No, like from when I actually did rave though.
Yeah.
We still do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the clothing budget. A lot of it was seeing what we really actually needed. Like, we know we needed some capes, but we realized we could share capes, so I'm not going to buy a cape for everyone in the movie when it's someone who needs one scene.
Did we buy like a 20-pack of wands?
We had way more wands than we needed.
Yeah, we bought like a 10-pack of wands from Amazon. It was like $5. They were just these cheapo magic ones. And our lovely Ebony, he looks slightly hungover right now, actually ended up hollowing out her wand and put glitter in it. So she would randomly like shoot glitter on people.
There's 2 tubes of glitter this big, but no one.
Which is really funny because all the rest of the time she hates glitter and I love it. She's been yelling at me all weekend for the outfit I wore Friday, which got glitter all over the entire hotel.
I don't need to find glitter on what I sleep with.
Eric, I told you this when I found that one spot on your back. I was like, it started. And it has.
Catching the gay.
Just keep it away from me, baby. I love you, but don't get me fucking.
I know we're close to Indiana, but no gay bashing.
Besides the whipping scene where Eric got slapped for like, what'd you say, 5 minutes straight?
The same
That's
spot.
About 2.
Too, but it was the same exact spot.
Besides that, did anyone get hurt during the production?
Who did I hurt? Who else?
Well, you heard Matthew. The dragging scene was unplanned. She was supposed to shoot him, and that was the end of it.
I thought they had told me that we were supposed to drag him off.
Like,
No, we said absolutely no words in the confinement of drag Matthew on his stomach through 10 inches of snow
For 50
with his
feet.
shirt for 50 feet with a shirt riding up.
like one thing that it's a love and hate 'em thing depending on the way you film. I personally love it. I like seeing how people make characters their own. So I'm open to improv. Like if there's a line that has to be in, I'll say no, it has to be that line. And there are sometimes in filming where I'll say you missed the important line and you have to have that in. But a lot of directors do hate that. So if you guys just want to act, some directors will get really pissed if you ad-lib. But for cases like this, I love it in any movie. And Eric did phenomenal because Draco in the My Immortal books is just this, he's just this whiny emo kid. He's always crying over Ebony. And Eric just played him as more of a macho guy. So instead of him like huddling and sobbing against a tree and then Ebony saves the day, it's the scene where he just slams down his cigarette, grabs the dead guy by his feet and drags him belly down, shirt up through like 50 feet of snow. And I'm just sitting with my camera like, oh my god, this is happening. And we're just continuing until we all eventually burst out laughing.
He took it like a champ, though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I give him props. He just
Surprised
let
he didn't
it...
get frostbite on his nipples.
Okay, I'm surprised this man didn't get frostbite in high heels.
Yeah, there were my mini escapades through the cold snow in 6-inch heels and too thin socks.
We shot this movie throughout all of February in Louisville, Kentucky, in like the first weekend of March. And if you guys remember, there was about 14 inches of snow on the ground that entire time. It melted for a day, and then we got another blizzard. So it was cool because the snow was cannon through the movie. You didn't
Until
have
the last day when it was just bright and sunny out.
Yeah, and it was melting though, so it was appropriate. But we didn't have those moments where it's like, okay, why is there snow in scene 2 but not scene 3 that I was worried about? It actually stayed. But for those 8-9 hour shooting days, I'm glad a lot of us aren't big fans of the summer because it was like 20 degrees and we're in these skimpy emo clothes outside consistently.
It was
It's a 16 plus panel. I can't.
I was also the only person who thought, hey, you know what might be a good idea? Gloves.
Yeah.
My character, the costume didn't call for gloves.
His costume called for heels.
You know, we could have made you some like really fancy like drag queen gloves.
But we ended up getting in wedges so they were easier to walk in.
He had 6-inch
But
wedges in
all
the
of us
snow.
had boots. Like the boots I'm wearing right now were the ones I wore for the movie. He had these little skimpy heels with socks, so all of us were fine in the snow, and his bare feet pretty much were just stuck in the snow for hours. I'm surprised his toes didn't fall off. We love you.
Well, I love you guys too. Look at that sexy man up there.
I
know, right?
That one too.
That's not a sexy man. That's a beautiful woman.
So how many man hours were involved in the entire production, from shooting to editing to preparation to all of it?
We had our first week of filming actually got canceled due to an ice storm, so it started out like that. We filmed for, I want to say it was 7 days. They were all Saturday and Sundays. We would do 8-hour filming, but there was a lot of pausing. If we had the budget, we need trailers, because there was a lot of goofing off, just as is shown in the bloopers. There was a lot of, wait, what's my line? And there were moments where someone we needed wouldn't be there or would have to go somewhere, and we would just pause and get food for an hour. So it wasn't consistent shooting. We had some time to goof off, but I mean, you know, 7 shooting days is pretty quick to finish something that went on for an hour. The trailer took about 5 hours. Editing each scene primarily took about an hour and a half, and then once I combined it together, I took about another 3 or 4 days just to mess with audio, add music, find the right music, because we couldn't use copyrighted music, so we had some, indie artists we could use.
Okay, most of that music's from Onision. So.
Yeah, YouTuber Onision years ago put out this huge, 300 song, file of his music, some of which is not very good, but some of it is pretty good. And we remembered it and still had it. And it's no longer online, but we ended up emailing him hey, we're making an indie film, we need music. Can we get permission to use this pack? And he was like, I didn't know anyone still had that, but okay. So we ended up using a lot of his stuff just because it was there and it was free.
There is a flip phone. We keep playing with it.
I feel like I'm doing most of the talking. Ask questions to the rest of them.
Okay. For each of you, what was your favorite scene and worst scene to shoot?
Like that we were in or in general?
Either or.
Favorite scene that was planned was probably the scene where one of the last scenes that we shot, the Ebony and Willow getting ready for the first concert, because it was mainly us just goofing off and putting in what we needed.
There were cats everywhere.
Yeah, my cats were running around and meowing. We had to keep doing takes. I actually left one of my cat's meows in the final cut because I'm like that. Worst scene was the bathroom scene. It was the first scene we shot, and I forgot about how much echo is in a bathroom. I could get some of it out, but it's still really noticeable and it bugs the crap out of me every time I watch the movie.
Wouldn't the worst scene be outside? No, the worst scene was when we lost the boom mic, and then we had to do bad Japanese lip dub over it.
Yeah, there's one scene where if you look closely
it's
for about
funny.
a minute, the lips don't match up completely because our boom mic went out, and it was like 25-degree wind gusts, so you could hear like nothing. And we didn't notice this until like post-production, so I had to quickly message her and our actor for Vampire Planner, Brian. And I was like, here are your lines, here's the footage, please record these and send them to me, because I cannot use any of your audio. Brittany, the prep, you were in one scene, I guess.
It took like 5 minutes.
You had to look pretty. I don't
And
know.
I had to be the pretty girl.
Yeah, we were like-
It was weird. I was the only one not in black.
She's the one usually in black the most, and I was like, you have to look as preppy as possible, and she's like, what?
I hated it all. I just sheerly hated every single minute of it.
Says the co-producer.
Says the co-producer.
This
The
was
one
your
that's in almost
idea.
every scene.
What? I don't need a mic!
Best scene to shoot and worst scene to shoot.
Best scene? Oh god. Anything I didn't have to be.
You were in every scene.
I know, the best scene to shoot was you trying to like convince Brad to take off the door handle. Because I was playing with the boom mic so much. The worst scene was anytime I had to take clothes off.
I like the scene.
It's
It was cold.
That's different for me. I love the scenes where I took my clothes off because.
You never took your clothes off!
What are you talking about?
She took his clothes off way too much. Like, we were just
Okay,
trying to
like,
look
okay,
around,
so-
and I'm like, Draco, where'd your shirt go?
I just like when when I stood up and my pants fell down, I just came up with that idea while I was sitting down. No one else had any idea, so that's why the first time we did it, then we weren't able to use that take because I slam my hands, I stand up, and it falls down. I'd be like, wait, what?
Like, it was like this moment where first we're like, cool, we got this scene, and everyone realizes his pants just dropped. Why weren't his pants on? And we all just die laughing.
And then
I kept trying to pull them off.
And then there was when I run into the classroom with my pants down around my ankles. That
poor
poor girl,
girl.
that
Oh my God.
that black girl that's in the class. I don't know. She was just a friend of somebody that was in the cast.
Tim's friend.
Yeah.
She,
Tim has friends?
He didn't tell her anything about this. She had no clue what was going to happen. That poor girl. She had no idea. She was so embarrassed.
She's just this like rookie actor. We had said to most of the cast, like, hey, see if you've got some extras for a school scene. And he brought her. We were filming a lot of stuff in the hallways, so she was just in the cafeteria and had no idea what My Immortal is. I don't even know if she really knows what fan fiction is. She had no idea what we were filming. And we get into the classroom, and she's a little weirded out, but she's like, okay, they're a little weird, but this is cool. And then he runs in basically naked.
With
and
a
t-shirt stuck
t-shirt
down.
shoved into my
she
underwear.
was the only one not acting, and that's why her reaction's the most hilarious when she's actually like this, because her brain's like, what have I just walked into? And then, like, as soon as we all cut, I'm like, Tim, what did you tell her? And he was like, just that it was a movie. And I'm like, what kind of movie? And he's like, I didn't specify. So, I mean, she's cool with us now, but she was still traumatized by that scene.
I'm pretty sure she's never going to talk to Tim again.
Probably.
And then, was that such a horrible thing? And then also whenever I had the one scene where people were opening the door, then there's a couple of times where I'm just standing there, like took my shirt off, and I'm like leaning against the door. Or it was when you couldn't get in the door, and then I just opened it, and I wasn't wearing a shirt.
Then you
Hey
did
there.
this number once.
Yeah, I did the slutty girl top.
Which doesn't work well with a shirt.
So those were my favorite. Oh yeah, and then also in the beginning when
Keep going.
everybody's outside playing in
You
the
liked the
snow.
entire movie.
When
Can
everybody's
you count to one?
Hush! I'm louder than you.
One number.
Whenever everybody's like playing out in the snow, that wasn't like scripted. We were just goofing off. Yeah, I didn't know that was actually gonna make it into the
You went to
movie.
Burger King and got one.
It wasn't supposed to, but we needed more B-roll, and I was gonna have to shoot more B-roll, but the snow had melted. And I was like, hey, we spent 30 minutes having a snowball fight outside. Why not overlay this when Ebony's doing her, like, I'm 17, I go to a magic school, and I love Hot Topic stuff. So that became accidental B-roll for the film.
Least favorite?
movie scene.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that, but I did enjoy scaring the hell out of Tim.
Scaring your coworkers are always fun.
Yeah. Alright, go on.
Manson?
I'll talk long enough.
My favorite scene, honestly can't decide between the two parts I was in. You know, they were both a lot of fun. But I guess getting to gallop through the snow in cork heels was a lot of fun. I don't really have a least favorite part that I didn't enjoy filming. I guess I just hated not being able to be there for work because the way my schedule was working and I was still in college at the time, it was pretty hard to work around that. So I was there a lot less than I wanted to be. But it was still a good
What's
experience.
your board up in Moldy Horse?
Bark.
Bark.
So, what about you? Since you got upgraded from random like production helper to Robbie because people didn't show up and there was
I'll be
no
the house.
I'd have to say my favorite scene. I'm not. Well, I'm in it, but like, was the whole Matt having to get up there, not reading the script, and then finding out that no, you're gonna have to bottom for a fucking sex scene. And the look on his face when we had to explain that to him was just of sheer terror.
You know we filmed that 5 times longer than we should have.
I know.
More real.
And I think it helped because if you notice, like at the very end, when he like
Started
walks
liking
up-
it?
Yes, he straight up goes from like resenting everything to, well, okay, this isn't that bad. Sure, I'll act a little more with it. And then he just straight grabs what's his name? Tim's chest at the end. And I'm like, yeah, no.
You know, if Eric and I ever break up, they're gonna be the movie's power couple.
We know who's the bottom. And I'd say the worst scene was relatively towards the end where we're all outside when the snow's almost completely melted. I didn't like that scene because I was wearing that nice leather jacket and I constantly had to get back into the snow and back into the dirt. And that took like 4 days to clean.
You got taken down into the dirt.
I know. That's
welcome.
because vagina is my only weakness.
It's not my fault.
And one thing I'll say for anyone who didn't hear the story, our cast was picked at random. Like, we all got to pick our characters for the most part, but the ones that we needed after, all of us picked our characters, I would just basically message someone and say, hey, we're doing a movie. Are you free February and March on weekends? I think you'd be good for this character. And our actor, Matt Holt, who played Coopin, he not only had not heard of, he knew what My Immortal was, but he hadn't read it, but he didn't know his character's role in it, and he didn't read the script. And his first shoot that he had with us was this over-the-top sex scene with Tim Rose, who played Professor Snap. And he just had this look of like first confusion, like he thought we were messing with him, and then just sheer horror. And he's like trying to change stuff, and I'm like, no, like I'm sorry you didn't read the script. So it took him a couple takes to stop laughing and just feeling so embarrassed and just ease into it. So when someone asks you to be in a movie, please read the script because they're gonna force you to do it anyway.
Especially when the first thing on the movie page says, read the script before you agree.
I never read anything and didn't even really have lines, so I
That's because you were a random you're a house elf, no one cares about you.
House slut.
He gave me a sock, so I'm not even a fucking house elf anymore.
We never gave you a sock, you stole that.
Shh. Don't tell them.
Any other questions,
Bad Robbie.
comments?
Why did we do this and why are we doing it again?
Yeah.
Are there any other fan fictions you would like to make a movie out of?
I'd really enjoy like trying to do a 18+ video.
No, that'll turn into a porno. No.
Just wait. I'm going to productions for Lords.
Oh, we could use the
Oh,
Disney
dear
for
God.
that.
What?
I'll make Bobby have sex with
Already?
No, I guess our next whole cast would be this one since he's Cody's replacement.
It's something that we've thought of because this was a good jumping tease because none of us, like some of the cast, this was their first time ever doing anything. And a lot of us, we were just really rusty. Like, I hadn't made any kind of video project in like 3 years. Most people hadn't acted or done any kind of videos. So this was one where we can goof off. It's not a serious film. We can have fun. on, get back into things, see, okay, I forgot, don't do this for next time. The next one we're doing is a script we wrote 3 years ago. It's a zombie movie called Ketchup Brain. We're premiering that at EvilCon. And we've been challenged to do another movie for here next year. We're thinking about doing another serious one, but I would love occasionally just going and making a random fan fiction like short film. Like, it was so much fun to do. And since Awesomely Bad Fan Fiction was one of our first panels and one of our most popular, it would be fun just to make little, mini fan fictions.
Let's do the Doctor Who one.
No!
Or the Kanye West one, guys.
Okay, I'm willing to deface Kanye West.
Wait, what about the Gerard Way?
I don't want to get
Let's do the You Got the Front
We should!
Yes, we should do the Choose Greatest
God,
Sexual
that was so
Fantasy.
annoying. Stop motion animation.
Oh. That's what you're concerned about?
Yes, that's what I'm concerned about.
Of course he is. I'm gonna be the one
Jared
that has to fucking play, Andy.
I'll do that.
No one's gonna care about my body. He's just caring about like Elvis.
Are we only an hour? We have 30 more minutes.
Oh shit. Really? Why?
Please talk. I'm so sick of listening to the people up here.
Any questions about props, cosplay, really any questions at all? We can try to
Brad, do
answer.
you regret doing this?
Very much.
Are you going to stop doing it?
Nope.
Good. We have 2 more movies to do.
Someone question my ability to learn.
Oh yeah, you missed the announcement.
Oh.
My Immortal's a trilogy.
Yes.
Why are you happy about this?
No, it's a trilogy.
What
We have to do part 2.
Okay.
And then have to do the sequel.
And part two involves us getting freaky in a closet.
I thought that was a joke.
Oh, thank God, it's worth
a
something.
Hold on. I thought that was a whole joke. Like part 2 was the
No, she actually wrote a part
No,
two.
no.
No, we just have the book and then there's a sequel.
Does Dobby show up ever again?
Yes.
Dobby's getting pushed down a flight of stairs.
Now, one thing I would say is learn, as you do films, learn your actors. Because there was one of our guys, Matthew Captain Diesel Dick Thompson. He was just this young kid. We randomly added him to the project almost day of, hey, I need someone, you're goofing off on Facebook, do you want to be in a movie? Not only was he a good actor, but he was great as a producer. He was great at, arranging things, and that's why we gave him a lot of credits, a lot of leeway. So that was cool. Our Dumbly Dumb in the front had so much fun behind the scenes, and then was so sad every time we made him actually go on film. So we've realized this man knows how to blow stuff up, so now...
Okay, I thought you were going to stop and blow stuff.
I mean, it
No, that's
does.
That's really.
I know how to blow stuff.
But we've got him for behind the scenes production, so kind of keep an eye on people's strengths and weaknesses, because that'll make people actually want to show up for your movies more.
For example, I'm
Also,
a
think
white
about
mage,
popcorn. That's
so
a great idea.
I'm good for
Know who's
everything.
good at improv? Eric's great at improv, or a guy who played vampires great at improv. So give them more leeway and make sure your other cast knows they might change the line, just go with it.
Yeah, and
And
guys-
put them with people who can improv back.
Guys, just let them shit next to you, please. So they don't fight again. Just let them shit next to you.
Yeah, see, another scene that I loved was
Fight scene.
the beginning of the threesome scene. He had no idea I was gonna kiss him straight on the mouth.
Because I just told him, just stand there and look sad and pissed
And then
that
I'm
they're
out.
making out again. And then he just runs out and full out mouth kisses him. And it was the hardest thing for me and Matthew not to burst out laughing because we wanted to use that tape. And she's laughing, so I'm trying to edit her out and post. But I loved all the improv. That entire chair fight scene was improv because I don't know how to write a choreographed fight scene. And so I was like, you guys are fighting over a chair. The line from the book is I want to shit next to you. And they just went for it. The fun thing is most of our scenes were filmed at Bellarmine University.
Well, we shouldn't admit that.
Why would you say that?
It's in the
Fuck
credits,
that college.
which I graduated from and he used to attend, and we're probably both going to be banned from campus. For
Well, it doesn't matter anymore. He's going to UVA.
Yeah!
Maybe.
I've already got my degree
There you
out
go.
there.
Or just don't go to college.
Or just don't go to college.
That's a bad idea.
Not
Kids,
really.
go to school. Don't do drugs.
Don't go to a
drugs,
private
don't
school
go
because it's
to
40,000 a year. You'll never use the
Drugs
actual
are bad,
degree. I'm a
okay.
chef. I know this for a fact.
What, Roshi?
Did any other fan-made movies help inspire or prepare you for
Nope.
this?
Nope.
Kind of.
Nope.
There, if you look for My Immortal movies online, there hasn't been one made in 5 years.
And they're all made by
Wait, there was
15-year-olds.
one
There have been a few that they never got finished because the
There's a bunch
hardest,
of 15-year-olds.
the hardest part of this was trying to adapt it for a film world because it's hard to do that anyway. But with a book that has no plot, it makes no sense half the time. It's really hard to do.
Half?
Most of the time.
There we go.
99% of the time.
And most of it was by just kids who wanted to make it. The best one, it's still online, a bunch of like 15-year-olds made, and it's great for 15-year-olds to make it.
And then you put his thing here in my...
And they had a
And they had like a cup with
and a cup
straws.
top. It was actually really funny.
You made a squeaky noise.
But we all watched that. There's what was the fake Twilight fan movie?
Twilight.
It's
50
some,
Shades of Grey?
yes, but there's actually like an adaptation to a Twilight fan fiction.
Someone's going to
I forgot what it's called. It actually made it to Netflix somehow. I want to try to get this on Netflix now because of it. I want to say it was. No, it wasn't. I think it was. I don't know. Just type in Twilight fan fiction. But we ended up watching that just to kind of see what we were getting into. You know, how goofy we could be with it, how serious we need to be with it. Because I knew as much as we tried, it was not going to end up as serious. And special effects are hard.
I'm going to make rainbow lightning come down from the sky.
I'm actually the world's most powerful wizard in shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thinking back after you've seen the finished product, is there anything you wish you could have changed?
Yeah, never done this movie.
I wish I would have added more of
B-roll.
my own, well, not B-roll, because we have enough B-roll, but just to extend the length out to 90 minutes, I had a couple of ideas after the fact to shoot, just to add in on my own 2 cents. Like, I had to do it here or there anyway with a couple of lines, but just some scenes interacting with a lot of the characters, because we got a lot of Draco and Ebony and Vampire, but not a lot of the rest. And in the book, that's how it was before the movie, I guess just because I wanted more screen time. I think it would be good to have more screen time for like me, for Brittany, Moldy Horse, Robbie, kind of see what crazy shenanigans they get into. So I probably would have done that. I probably would have added more of my own flavor to the movie. Because the stuff I write makes sense, but it's still that same vein of crazy, so I think it would have worked. Lee, anything you would have added?
What about changing this?
Anything you would have added, done differently? Maybe not shot in a foot of snow?
Not that.
Yeah. Like I was
No,
gonna
I
say
would-
that.
I would've
Adding
cut
gunshot
that.
effects into the thing
Yeah,
so I don't hear an
yeah.
airsoft gun going off. Actually added the portal so I
Pew,
could have
pew.
shot Matt in the face.
Pew pew.
Actually, that was fun because all of the I don't want to get into Tumblr shenanigans, but all the shooting stuff that's going on recently, we had to go to an open park at a college campus with a fake gun, and
With an airsoft gun.
but
With
we
a
were
nitrous
like,
container.
But we're like, someone's gonna just show up and see it, so we would try to keep it hidden until we actually needed
Which is
it.
probably more suspicious than we needed it to be, but we really didn't care.
We were just like, let's just hope the cops don't show up because we don't have any kind of permits. I'm sure half the cast probably left their IDs at home. And we're just dressed like these like crazy goth kids. They're probably gonna think we're on drugs and arrest us.
Probably think we're gonna go shoot a school.
So we were like, let's make sure they don't see this random gun being floated around. At night, because most of the park scenes, it was actually dark and we had to light it up.
If I could change something, it would have been that I would have had.
You realize how bad an idea that is?
I would have had more. I would have had lines.
Yo, I'm
Yoshi,
gonna
if
laugh
you
at you.
die, I'm not getting the Dragon Balls.
I would have had lines
Be
of more
thankful
than like
no
5
one's
words.
for
Because it's like, okay, let's see how well I can act. Oh wait, all of my lines suck.
Which is why he did a lot of improv.
Videos.
That was one of the things I would have had to keep in though, because one of the most known lines is that Lord Voldemort had his high heels clacking as he was running. So we were nice and gave you wedges instead of like stilettos.
You should have gave him stilettos.
I wanted to give me
stilettos. That's what I would have changed. Full commitment.
You should have gone to like Spencer's and got the clear stilettos.
Actually, no, I'll get go-go boots.
I have go-go boots.
I'll wear.
I don't think you can wear them.
Not.
Dude, have you seen the size of your foot one?
Robbie, anything you would change?
Me personally, I would have wished we didn't shoot in snow. Because with it being in snow and having that construction scene, we could have gone back and worked on audio more, could have gone back and worked on more scenes. But since the snow was melting, it was a really set timeline that we
Yeah, we
had to
had
get
to
everything
film.
done. So always be aware of your environment.
No,
So, moral of the story: winter is a bad person.
Yes.
This winter was very bad.
Winter came.
Because it would be a
Everywhere.
thing where I would think of other winters and be like, they forecasted snow, it's going to flurry, and things would be fine. And the first day of shoot, we wake up and there's like ice everywhere, and I was just like, oh no. And then the next week it was fine, and then it dumped like a foot of snow on the ground, and we're just like, let's just shoot anyway. Let's just go.
Well, we were going to start 1 week early. Then it snowed. Then it was Valentine's Day, so we took a break.
Just remember,
Yeah, we
winter's
didn't
coming.
film Valentine's Day weekend. We
Did
filmed.
winter just come?
Dawn Bringer, anything you would change?
Need more explosions.
Needed more explosions. That's the next movie.
Yeah, there's more, because she goes back in time, or actually this can get messy, she goes back in Tim in the book, but we have some Rose in the movie.
Hey, I can see
What's your
exactly how this is
birthday?
gonna go. Nope,
To,
nope.
and she defeats all of them back in
Oh,
time while sleeping with half of them and goes forward into time.
Oh, so the next movie is a porn. Great.
That's how you have to
Pretty
get
much.
I quit.
Go
It
back.
gets worse as the book goes on.
I absolutely quit. I don't think we're ever going to finish this trilogy.
It's gonna be like Jackass, we're gonna be like 40 by the time we get done with part 3.
If we're 40 and we do this, we're going to have heart attacks.
Can we actually put Johnny Knoxville in at that point?
If Johnny Knoxville,
Probably.
yes.
I am not drinking horse semen.
Oh, baby, you drank a lot worse.
Yeah.
I didn't say I wouldn't drink beer. I'm saying I drink horse semen.
So you want herpes.
So, guys, you found out
I don't
something
have
about our
herpes.
Everybody has
photographer over
herpes.
here.
I don't.
Everybody has herpes if you get cold sores.
I don't get cold sores.
Not yet.
Any non-STD related questions? Or I guess maybe STD related questions since
I mean,
we
if you
had
want to make
sex
Pokemon jokes, you got to catch them all.
Yeah.
All right, guys. In this intro, I'm going to explain to you how sex works.
No.
No.
18 plus. This is not 18.
This is-
Well,
Yes.
there's 16, but you know, they're telling kids that when they're like 14 or.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Guys,
all I
no.
know is Finland starts sex ed in kindergarten. What?
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's
Yeah,
really. I think
love
that's
each
a
other
great
very
idea. This
much.
has nothing to do with our panel. I really just don't care anymore.
Well, I
Oh,
think,
talk about it.
I think on the topic of sex, like, that was probably one of the hardest things to edit for the movie. Like, the scene that just got completely ripped apart by the wind was hard, but once I had the audio lay over, I didn't really care that occasionally a lip flap didn't match up. I was like, you know what, it's fine, go with it. But one of the hardest to edit was all of the Ebony Draco sex scenes, especially their really long one, because there was so much footage, because A, it was awkward, because we had me with the camera, we had Matthew with the boom, and then we have like 7 random people in this tiny room like watching them. But the other problem is
Every man had a boner.
the bad thing
didn't.
was they're a very
Yes, you did.
PDA couple as it is.
Yeah,
and we
they
had
are.
them play a very PDA couple. So there were a lot of takes where it would just keep going and finally someone's like, you done yet? So it was a lot to try to figure out how
Well,
much
we
we
couldn't actually have sex
needed.
in front of you guys.
Like how much to show. There was a lot where I would just take a video with my phone and send it to her and say, hey, is this footage too much since you're in your underwear and this is happening? Or can I leave this in, or can I crop it? So it was constantly me shooting her stuff.
Can I Photoshop a very creepy smiley face over your boyfriend's crotch?
Yeah.
I feel like that smiley face was a worse sense
I
of the
feel
word.
like that
Actually,
smiley face is the movie to such something like.
it's going to suckle on your nipples.
But a lot
I
of it was
like
like, how
that.
much can we show? Because there's always a chance that our parents will see this. And
said mine were like-
why
I
they
used to
wanted to
fake
be
name.
disowned. Yeah, most
Don't
of the
worry, I'll
casting
send
is
yours a
fake
link
names.
too. Hey Angie, how much time-wise was there with all of the sex scenes?
That we
Like-
used or that was shot?
That was shot.
About an hour?
We had, well, yeah, I would
In
say-
total, it was about an hour.
Yeah, about an hour's worth.
But
Because
that's
we
it.
kept having them do different things, and there was a lot of different makeout angles.
You could totally do My Immortal softcore porn.
No!
That.
And like the fun
There you
thing
go.
was like I'm filming and I don't really
My
care.
Immortal boner.
And Matthew, as turned on as he probably was, he was going and not really caring. But all the other people in the room except me were like me and her were guys. So all the guys behind us, it was funny because they were like looking up like this, like trying not to look at her, just like laying in sexual positions in her underwear. And I would turn around and they're like trying as hard as they can not to look at the scene.
Trying to hide.
I'm gay, so I constantly abuse that fact by like trying to
Okay,
go
hang on.
on her constantly.
Hang on. You're a battered housewife.
I am a bad housewife, but there's actually a blooper where like there's a sex scene between Robbie and
Ebony.
Ebony.
And then he joined, and then Draco joined.
And then Draco joins in, and I try to like, put my own leg behind my head. It doesn't work.
How does that
very well.
go?
It doesn't work very.
Have you ever seen a Smurf snap himself in half?
Yeah, it's exactly.
A Smurf snurfed himself in half.
A
Is
Smurf
that-
himself in half.
Snarf!
Snarf!
I'll say probably the
Or snarf.
one bad thing about filming I missed, despite the fact that it was very cold for most of this, we shot the concert scenes last. And that was in May, and it was that first time it got really hot. So we were in a closed garage in 95-degree heat,
On
having
Derby
to
Day.
dance with lights.
It was Derby Day too.
It was so bad because
And for
everyone
people,
was
that
so
just
used to
sucks.
freezing, and now we're all sweating. So in between takes, like everyone would file outside and just try to like breathe and calm down because it was so
Or
hot.
the
and
women just kept
stuffy.
getting more naked.
Yeah, one of our girls, she wasn't even really supposed to be in it, and she texted me and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm filming. We need extras. Like, can you come?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she shows up, and it's really hot, and she's like,
Who wants to drink?
she was like, "Yeah." She had alcohol, and she was like, "How naked can I be?" And I'm like, "How naked do you want to be?" And that's why there's like this random half-naked girl at the concert because she just kept taking off more clothes.
I mean,
Did she get anything further from where she was?
No,
But we've
she,
seen her in New Orleans, so.
if she
Yeah,
found
we'll take her.
everyone in the garage, I think she would have, but since she didn't know some of the people.
I've seen her with gummy bears places, very precarious places.
Did you eat the gummy bears?
No, I don't like cinnamon.
Didn't somebody eat them?
No, they were in
No.
the trash can.
Then there was
I would
What a
say
waste.
never put all of your actors in one basket because half of we've alluded to. Sometimes, and not just because people are bad, sometimes life happens and you need to replace people quickly. So having Chris available was good. Our friend Shane who played Dracola was good.
But Dracola was supposed to be a woman.
No, Dracola was Navel.
Still a woman.
There was finals week. We needed a scene with Moldy Horse, and because it was finals, he couldn't, be there. So we ended up using Snap again. I called him. I'm like, "Hey, can you show up for this shoot?" So if you can keep people kind of on call almost, who you can trust, that really helps out so that you don't just scrap an entire shoot day.
I mean, there are people there's a person I'm never want working with us again.
Being professional on a set, let me put it that way, even for people like us who constantly joke around and make vulgar sex jokes and drug jokes, like they're still
I'm sorry, I don't
taking
need
it
to
too
know about
far.
you doing black tar heroin in your spare time.
It's not black tar,
Don't
Becky.
go
Not
around
you.
people you don't know and randomly, loudly proclaim your drug habits in like open places.
Or be talking about or playing your loud, shitty music in
Yeah.
the background while we're trying to film.
Like they were long filming days, so I didn't care if people had stuff going on behind the scenes, like there was a pool table. But if you're gonna listen to music, bring headphones, because there were so many times that we kept having to stop for one actress and say, "Hey, turn down the music. I can't put this I don't even know what she was
I
listening
just play like
to."
Nicki Minaj or something.
Some
Shit.
rap
that was made in some 40-year-old's mother's basement and has
Probably.
no chance of
And I'm like, I don't even care if that's copyright or
Probably
not.
was.
I'm not putting it in the movie. Like, turn it down. Get headphones. And this went on over and over.
every single day.
So after the movie, I had to say, hey, you know, you're
we
not
got 15
blacklisted, but if we're gonna use you again, you can't do this. You can't talk about weird, hardcore drugs. You can't
I
talk.
don't need to hear about you making meth in a 2-liter bottle in your apartment.
Oh, and then running off to smoke pot
During the movie,
On a campus.
you forget your lines.
on a campus.
Why do you-
And then
why do we
like
talk
didn't
to
say
that
anything to
thing?
anybody. And it's like, where the hell did she go?
No, let that
So
crash
it's
in.
a thing, like, have fun, especially on a loose movie set, but there's always going too far.
I mean,
Like,
we're lucky we're not professional actors because as many times as we screw up and goof around, most professional acting jobs will dock you pay if you screw around on set. If you miss a line, if you watch any of the Harry Potter movies, the guy who played Ronald Weasley, he lost about 300 pounds, and pounds is in money, each time they filmed because he just always forgot his lines.
300 pounds a lot.
I have no idea, but I mean,
Pounds, yeah,
but
pounds
that's
are.
$450 every time they shot.
and that's because a lot of indie films, you know, we use DSLRs or other kind of cameras, but big Hollywood movie sets, they're paying everyone for their time,
Yeah,
and they're also usually still filming on actual film. So when you mess up, it's not just okay, go again like we do. It's okay, we just wasted this roll of film. So the more you can remember your lines, the better. I mean, it's funny for bloopers, but if you miss like 20 times in a row, it's just like no.
I remember there was a movie with The Rock, and he did some kind of like boys' prison football youth thing,
What?
and like all the kids that were doing the football stuff, they would screw around so much in just one day. The director said, "Okay, the next person who cracks up and laughs gets fired."
Yeah.
The person we're talking about, I literally want to just say, go home. We don't need you. We'll replace you. You're so shitty. We do not need you.
And the problem is she's one of the most wanting to be an actress, and so I just say, hey, we'll give you one more shot, but this has to change. This has to change
She needs to
because
be
you can't
informed.
do this. Like, cause it's good. Like me and Lee can recommend anyone from the cast to other indie film artists and say, hey, you know, this person's good. They did this. We're not going to put our names out and recommend someone who's going to go and screw up. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to have you making that on the set. I don't need a Walter White. I need a Walter White to pay me for the money. I don't need a Walter White.
I can totally hear your Walter White, baby.
So you're going to be my pimp. Got it.
What was the son's name?
Walter.
Walter, the most creative thing in the world. Okay, we have another 10 minutes.
Any questions about prop or cosplay?
Everybody wants to make props.
Yeah.
Anyone want us to make really, really bad jokes?
Anybody like gaming channels?
He runs a gaming channel. Me and her do props on the side. Everyone up here can hand build their own cosplays and do.
Can. The question is, are we actually going to?
If there's money involved.
If there's money, we'll do it. But if there's no money,
Yeah.
we'll go to Goodwill.
Oh, also,
Goodwill is your friend. Make sure you wash your stuff and have it.
I mean,
Oh, wait.
hello, baby.
we've got all of our links
My
going
name
up
is-
here. Feel free to add any of us on whatever you want. You know, we'll talk to you.
I love how
as
you
long as
got
you're
my
not angry, then we
YouTube
might
on.
start ignoring you.
I love how you got my YouTube name.
And, huh?
You got my YouTube wrong. I don't even have a YouTube name.
You do have a YouTube name.
No, I don't.
You're on my YouTube.
What?
surprise!
Oh yeah, because I put that on the wrong channel.
Scraping what?
Inside my car. Oh, it's funny.
Oh, did you only hear scraping the insides?
Yeah, I did. And I was like, this is not an 18 plus panel. What are you all talking about?
Yeah, you guys can always hit us up with questions. If you're in the local area or if it gets a little legal, you can hang out with us or do podcast with us.
Oh,
Okay. Alright, my co-director is going to take a potty break.
It's not even a break. I'm just not coming back.
She's done. She quit.
I've done enough of this crap.
Wait, come on, take this. Gotcha.
And there's a head Roshi.
Would you stop trying to kill yourself,
Roshi, ask questions. You're good at that.
Here's this, the Abusement Park answers Roshi's questions.
That's literally what this panel is.
I've got a joke for you guys.
Don't say it.
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
A fish.
Why did Susie fall off the swing set?
Because she has no arms.
Knock, knock.
Not Susie.
So much. Now, anyone who's not fucking Chris.
He can tell you the answer to all of his jokes. He just recycles the same 5.
Hey, I fucking hate you.
We can't use that word.
No.
Even though I think
You're
everyone
allowed-
in here
you're
is
allowed-
over 18.
You're allowed one F-bomb per PG-13 movie.
We've already said like 10 on this panel.
5 minutes. Have your last.
Anyway, I have a story for you guys. I once made it build watches. Oh my god, it was a waste of time.
Alright, so the mic doesn't even work. Shut up. Thank you. Just start beating him. Any questions, comments, or anything at all? We're willing to answer anything you have.
What's the most cost-effective way to make weaponry?
Ooh.
PVC pipe, duct tape, and foam.
Yep. With standard PVC pipe, any type of duct tape, and like a pool noodle, you can sand down the sides of pool noodles to get an exact edge or a flat side, and from there you can go on and make what you need. You also can do a wire hanger, wrap that with duct tape for a base outline. Really, most household objects can be made into another type of weapon.
I've heard that if you try to spray paint the noodle stuff, it'll start to melt. So you can get a good battle damage look. How do you know when to stop so you don't melt it too much?
Well, that's something based off of personal preference. If you're wanting a really battle-ready look, or battle-worn look, you're going to want to use a little bit of spray paint because it will melt through relatively quickly. And if you keep going, you can end up wasting the entire pool noodle. But the good news is, it's really inexpensive to get a pool noodle. So you can just get another one, do a little bit more sanding down, and then go from there.
What materials would you say are best to get an authentic armor look?
Ooh, cardboard, aluminum. It's
Duct tape.
What is that? The
D's nuts.
the puzzle piece foam.
Oh my God, you saw that here too?
Oddly enough, that actually works if you cut it into the right shape and then heat it up. You can actually get like legitimate ballistic armor look.
You can get ballistic, but for metal and anything like that, you can't really do anything else other than aluminum, or pray to God that you can find someone who has a really good hand and steady hand for painting. You can make a metallic look based paints, and then you have it. But finding someone who has a steady hand for painting sometimes is very difficult, especially when you yourself don't. Oh my God.
Now, because there's so many colors in the spectrum, what shade of metallic paint would you say is best for the armor?
The shades of gray. I actually can't answer this one because I am completely colorblind. I see full grayscale. So
I have a buddy who's like you. He just wants to know what pink is.
Does he see pink as white too?
He doesn't even know.
Exactly.
He cannot
because, okay, pink and white. I'm sorry to go on a slight rant for this, but pink and white are the exact same color. Pink is manufactured and not really occurring anywhere else. So, like, when I see something that's pink, my first thought is it's white. And I can't tell the difference, and it sucks. Anywho, you can run.
Yeah, we are out of time.
We're done.
Thanks everyone
Thank you for sticking
coming
around.
out.
Like, wow.
Hopefully you guys learned something. We have one more panel this weekend. We've got fandom intervention in panel room 1 at 2:30. Since the Force Court got cut in half yesterday because of the evacuation, We're doing about 3 rounds of divorce court before doing intervention. So we're trying to make sure people know that. But thanks everyone for coming
Where's
out.
my attractive one?
Hopefully we'll see you around.